Well, one thing I want to say is I think that there is, obviously you're in the center here, the Hermit. So this is all about you this month, I want to say, dear Virgo. By the way, happy birthday to those Virgos who have their birthday in the month of August. Um, but this month you're focused on yourself, and I think you're focused on breaking free from limitations. And I want to say they're limitations you've placed on yourself mentally. There is a way to break free, but you can't see it right now, or you're not focusing on it. You may be more pessimistic than usual, and that may be what the challenge is, and why you're not seeing the way to solve whatever problems you're having. And I want to say they're financial because we have the Nine of Pentacles, the overall energy. So I want to say that there's some financial strain that you're dealing with. Also here with the Seven of Pentacles. I also want to say that there's a lot of messages here with these 6 cards. But I want to say that you're moving on and you're moving forward in an endeavor, maybe a creative endeavor or an endeavor you're passionate about. And you're looking at making money, or you're trying to figure out how to make money from this creative endeavor or this endeavor you're passionate about. This is something new. It's something you haven't done before, but it's something that I feel you feel you're moving in the right direction, okay? So for instance, let's say that you do a job like, data processing or whatever, and you decide, hey, I want to be a writer, or hey, I want to actually go in a completely different direction than what I have been, and do something entirely new with my career. I see you really thinking about that and strategizing in the beginning part of August. And I see you actually putting in the effort to get what you want. It's no longer just about thinking about it, but this is about strategizing and actually implementing, taking action towards those dreams, towards those goals, okay? The Wheel of Fortune at the top of the reading and above you, with the cards surrounding it, I have to say looks very promising. It looks like things are turning in your favor. Things are starting to come in. You see with the Wheel of Fortune and the Three of Wands right next to it, that whatever you've been working on and putting in effort towards, you're going to reap rewards for it this month. Now let's talk about the bottom here, because you have a big decision to make. And I think it's involving career, I think it's involving money, I think it's involving your passions or your goals, your ambitions this month. You have a choice to either stop doing what you're doing and take on a new path, or continue down the path you've been going. And it's going to take strength for you to unblock yourself mentally and emotionally to accept the challenge of this new path. And this new path, something, again, that you haven't done before, is something totally new. You're investing yourself in a completely new way. Something, again, that may be a creative endeavor or something that you're very passionate about, but it's something new. If you have the strength to accept the challenge of meeting your destiny, of meeting your passions, of going after your dreams and goals, you're going to be very successful in obtaining what you want to obtain. The Nine of Pentacles is a woman who is self-made, self-confident because she's self-made. She knows what she's capable of. So this is you, whether you're male or female. You're going to be feeling this way if you take the right path and you follow your heart. Don't be too analytical. Don't be too pessimistic. That's your block, and that needs to stop. You need to stop that from happening. You need to find inner strength, and you need to have faith. You're in a period where there's a lot of things closing, but a lot of things opening as well. Okay? Just want to point out too with this, underneath the Nine of Pentacles we have the Magician. So you are in charge of your destiny. You are the one manifesting your dreams, manifesting your goals, and if you're not manifesting that, well then you're just going to stay stuck in a pattern that you're unhappy with. Okay? So that's the general reading, Virgo. Let me look at what's coming in regarding love. What are the love messages for single and couple for the month of 2020? Messages. Okay. We had the Ace of Cups fly out. I'm going to accept it and keep it, and we'll see how it resonates with the other cards. We have the Hermit again, which is you, Virgo. Eight of Swords. The Moon. Two of Swords. Six of Wands. Eight of Cups. Ace of Swords. The Emperor. And the Seven of Swords. At the bottom of the deck, overall energy is the Five of Wands. Oh, Virgo. Nothing bad. I don't want to... Just a lot going on, it looks like. Let me start with the single Virgos, because I feel a strong message here for my single Virgos. I feel like, again, there's self-denial or negative self-talk and pessimism going on when it comes to romance or when it comes to your love life. But what you're not comprehending is you're actually holding yourself back because you're not putting yourself out there in the manner in which would attract the kind of love you really want. Okay? So when you go out there and you have this pessimistic attitude, you're putting that vibe out there to anyone who may be interested. And when it comes off that maybe you're not interested in dating, or maybe you're just not interested in finding somebody, or maybe you're not single. That's the kind of energy you're putting out there when you don't, when people that you don't know really want to approach you. And it's funny because there's something here about fake it till you make it. So even if you don't believe that entirely, you have to fake it till you make it. When you go out, make a conscious effort to put out positive vibes. And even, in your day-to-day life, focus on trying to put out positive vibes. Because all you're doing is you're making it you're making it challenging for yourself to find love. You're too hard on yourself and you're too self-critical, and that's causing you to be very pessimistic in love. I do see someone that may be older than you, maybe an Aries, maybe a fire sign, that may be coming in. This person, I feel, I'm going to have to draw some cards on the Seven of Swords to see, but I feel like you're going to get some clarity about this person, whether they like you and they're telling you this month, or this may be a father figure acknowledging that if you're a younger Virgo and you're sneaking out or whatever, I think that they're fully aware of this. I think that there's going to be an issue there. You know, if you're sneaking out, or even if I want to say this, if you're married and you're sneaking out, your husband is aware, and it's going to cause some fights. It's going to cause some conflict this month. Oh, single Virgo. So you just got to work on your self-perception and the vibe that you're putting out there, okay? And I think for those of you who are just single, ready to mingle, there's a fire sign around you, and this may be a boss of yours, it may be someone who's older than you, or it just may be somebody in some type of an authoritative figure or position. And there may be an interest there. And I think that this person by the end of the month is going to make you aware that there is interest, okay? For couples, I want to say that you've been contemplating something that you've had a big indecision about, okay? You haven't felt comfortable about making a decision because you don't feel you have all the information, or you feel like you're worried that you're just being pessimistic rather than seeing the reality of the situation. You don't want to make a decision without having all the facts. However, for those of you in a committed relationship where there has maybe been some trouble, where there has been conflict, where there has been disagreements, and I'm not talking just your every day-to-day kind of disagreements, I'm talking, you know, bigger scale kind of arguments, more fighting than loving, right? I think you're going to walk away from that relationship by the end of the month, and I think you're going to do it in like a stealthy way because this person is a bit controlling. I think some truth is going to come out about this relationship, okay? You're going to speak your truth, they're going to speak their truth by the end of the month. And I think it's this conversation that may make you decide to leave. And overall, it is a victory for you because you're walking away from something that isn't entirely healthy. It's made you feel trapped. It's made you feel stuck. There are secrets here, again, that I feel are revealed. People are speaking their truth. It may be a highly emotional month for some of you. But if you're in a situation where, you know, there's a relationship that isn't working, you're going to have what you need to walk away from it this month. I'm going to draw some clarifying cards. I want to look at the moon. Oh yeah. See, some of you are saying goodbye to somebody. This is a relationship where there was commitment. Either you are married or were married, or you were talking about marriage. This is the Lover card. Whether you're male or female, this is the Lover. This is the male, typically. But then we have the side card, which is about releasing a partner, releasing a lover. And it's on the Moon card. So this is something that you're secretly maybe thinking about doing, or it's something that you haven't fully accepted. But by, I want to say, you know, the first couple weeks of August, I think you are going to. Let's look at the Eight of Cups. I think you're realizing that somebody is more of a hindrance to you than a benefit. And I think this relationship, if you're in one, has been very lopsided. It's been one-sided. You know, somebody's taking advantage of the other. This baby in the center represents new, like a new circumstance, new clarity, new way of dealing with a matter. And we see that you're dealing with it by leaving it behind. No matter what you've invested up to this point, you believe it's wise to leave it behind. Now, if you are single, these cards up here are talking about you secretly wanting and desiring that level of commitment and relationship, and it may be that your pessimism stems from past relationships that have failed. This coming up on the Moon card saying this is a subconscious belief, and this is something that you need to work on, because even though your past relationships may not have been ideal, that doesn't mean that the ideal partner isn't out there. And on the Eight of Cups, these three cards are trying to tell you that you don't want to be your own worst enemy. And you have to leave behind old patterns, old thoughts, old beliefs, no matter how invested you are in them. And when I say invested, I mean, sometimes we're invested emotionally into toxic beliefs or situations because that's all we've known. Time to change that and leave it behind. No matter how emotionally invested we are in them, we have to leave negative thought patterns behind. It's time for something new. It's time for you to start really believing in yourself, being a friend to yourself, right? Working for yourself, not against yourself. And lastly, I'm going to draw on the Seven of Swords because I want to see what's going on with this. So, for those of you who are single and there's a fire sign coming in, look, this person's coming in to you and they're giving you a message. I think because the Emperor is looking at this Ace of Swords, it looks to me like they finally have the courage to be honest, okay? And it's taking a lot of guts for them to say, I have feelings for you, or I like you. Because I feel like when you're initially introduced to this person, maybe they're introduced through a mutual friend or whatnot, and they don't have the courage right off the bat to say something, but I think they will. And I think that this coming up on the Seven of Swords is basically saying that they're wanting, you're going to be hearing from this person, it's a pleasant surprise with the surprise card at the end, that they want something more. In a committed relationship, these cards coming up on the Seven of Swords basically telling me that by the end of the month, I think you're going to be getting an apology, or you may be giving an apology to your partner, because they're understanding that there needs to be more healing in this relationship, and it may be a surprise or maybe a pleasant surprise, but ultimately it's up to you whether or not you want to stay in this relationship, and I don't think that you do. I don't think that you do. So by month end, before month end actually, I see probably the second or third week of August. I think you're walking away. I don't know. And that could be you or that could be the partner, but I really think it's you. I really think it's you. You're the one who's deciding, I need to leave this behind.